Okie dokie, y'all. We're going to get going. Today is going to be really focused on the components of not succumbing to a fall. And what are the tests that you can do for yourself to see where you're at? Where do you fit in the category of, well, I'm likely to fall? Well, everybody's likely to fall. However, that's what we're going to do today. So, oh dear, I have dogs. Sorry about this. So get your pole out and we're going to use weights. Come here, Mac. Come here. You're going to go in. It keeps them more calm. Sometimes I never know what's going to set them off. So here we go. So here's the deal. Two of the main tests that you can do on yourself has to do around ambulation, walking. How fast do you walk? How slow do you walk? Now, so to warm up, we're going to do a little test. So do you see where I'm at back here? Okay, you know what a yard is, correct? So I just now took 3 feet, 3 of my walk. See? That's about a yard. This is another yard. This is another yard. You see what I'm saying? So about 3 or 4 yards of a distance, you need just about that to give yourself this little test that we're going to do. Okay? You could do it this way. You could do it any way you want to, but it needs to be about 3 yards. Think about a yardstick. I would go between 3 and 4 yardsticks and just see how fast do you cover that distance. Okay? So here I am back here. This is about a yard. This is about a yard. This is about a yard, and there's the last one. So 4 meters or 3 or 4 yards, a little over. Test yourself on a regular basis, because here's the deal. It's the speed at which you can cover 4 meters, which is, of course, about 4 yards, a little over 4 yards. See that? That's about 4 yards. Okay? Somewhere in between that. It's the speed in which you can cover. So do it several times, do it slowly. You can back up so that you stretch your heel cords several times before you go more quickly. So what is the speed? So if you're getting tested on how fast you cover about a little over 4 yards, you need to do it in under 5 seconds. Now, many of you are well in that range, and you're like, oh, I don't have any problems with that. Well, some of us might have problems covering 4 meters in 5 seconds. If you have injury, I don't think my mom probably could do it with her walker, etc. If you have hip injuries, if you have any kind of those kind of considerations. So I'm doing this several times, and that's one walking test. Now, there's other walking tests that you can do. That's just one that was highlighted in this one certification that I'm doing. So I'm doing 4 meter walking right now. See this? I'm not going super fast, but I'm not going super slow either. So when you do these little challenges, you try to do it unassisted. Some of us need to have a walking pole to facilitate our walking. And after I've done it several times at a medium, just a medium pace, okay, you just try to quicken your step in that regulated pathway. See what I'm doing? So I'm coming all the way back here. And it's about a 4-meter walk that I do. So that's one test. Another test is getting down into the floor. And I took you in that trajectory several times before I do this next one. And let me do a few little moves before I do this next one. I'm going to walk to the side. Okay, I'm stepping to the side. I'm bringing my elbows back, dropping my chin, softening my knees, pulling back, taking a big deep breath. And let me emphasize, don't be doing anything when you're holding your breath. Bring those elbows right into your waist there, okay? See that? Then take them up out of it. Bring them back into it. This is your W. Go into your T. And then just raise it as far as you feel you can to a Y. And right here, shut your mouth. Take a big breath in through the nose. While your shoulders are down. Then you bring it right back down to the T, right back down to the W. Okay? Then you come up, turn that palm down, bring it down. Go up with your palm up, turn that palm down, bring it down. Soften your knees. Big deep breath. Okay? Then I'm going to step front to back in a staggered stance. And I'm going to do just a rotational through the spine, through the vertebrae. See how I'm just turning that upper body. Okay, so you're turning right here. So turn. So the chest is facing this way. See? Then turn. So the chest is facing this way. Some of you are doing this and you're not turning anything in your thoracic region. That's not a good thing. You want to be able to move from the waist up. And that means movement through the chest and the thoracic vertebrae, which means up this area. Then you go into your cervical vertebrae, you turn, step in, then switch. Now put the other leg out front. Now when you just now did that, what is happening to the back leg? If it's turned out like this, correct it and pull it forward. And if you're losing your balance when you do that, you gotta widen up. Okay, don't turn your foot. Now, when you do this, see how I'm turning my whole upper body? And then I'm turning my whole upper body. I want to turn. Hold your balance. Take a big deep breath. Big deep breath. Don't lean forward. Ear, shoulder, hip. No matter where you're turning, ear, shoulder, hip. See, I'm not doing this. I'm not doing this. Keep your chin tucked. Ear, shoulder, hip. And when you turn, you open through that chest and back. It's a thoracic movement of the vertebrae. One more before I do the second test. Hands are going to go right here. The minute some of you put your hands here, do you know what you did? You pulled your shoulders up. You went like this. And we will do that sometime. But when you go into this move, drop those shoulders. Okay? Now, drop your head and open your shoulder blades. Open your shoulder blades. Then drop your shoulders and bring your chin up. And squeeze your shoulder blades now. Do it one more time. Here we go. Shoulders open. Our spine is in a C position. And then we push the butt back. We pull the shoulder blades in And now we bring those shoulders way up to the ears. Turn your head, turn your head, turn your head, and then push into the heels and come up. Okay? Now, many of you have mentioned this, several of you. There is something going around on the internet, and it was in my certification testing items. They do this, and they go down and sit down and come up, and you're not supposed to use your hands. Well, I'm here to tell you that if I did that, I would damage my knee or I'd pop my hip out. That's crazy. We are going to get down into the floor and get back up into the floor as part of our warm-up this morning on a Monday morning loading. Because guess what? Several of you, who knows who, are gonna we're gonna find ourselves on the floor at some point. You avoid the floor because it's such a big deal to get back up. I don't want it to be a big deal. You should be able to, the point is you should be able to get into the floor as I'm going right now. I'm walking out. I'm gonna put my knees down and I'm on all fours. I'm going to push my butt back, go to my elbows. Then I'm going to come back here, put my toes under. I'm going to push, tighten up, push, step in, and come up. Okay? Now I can do it very quickly. It's not a matter of quickly. It's a matter of can you get down and can you get up without too much assistance. Now, there are some people that choose to use a chair, and we can do that as a warm-up. See this? I can do this. I can press here. I can push up. I can trade feet. I can use this. I can come down. So none of this hurts my joints, my knee and my hip, okay? If you just did those two things 5 to 6 times every day, I am telling you, you would move so different in 2 weeks. 2 weeks. I'm going to do it again. See, like this. I just walk myself out, lightly touch my knees down, do a spine cat-cow. Then I put my toes under. I tighten up, push into my feet, and I'm up. And I'm telling you, if you did just that, or if you did this one, where we come here and come down, switch, and come down, those two moves. You can use a chair, or you can do it the way I didn't use any chair. I just went right down into the floor and right back up. I am telling you, you put on your calendar that you're going to do that 4 to 6 times every day. You would be so far ahead of the curve as far as mobility, as far as not going into that label of a frail elderly. Yeah, I know. Okay, now I'm going to start with my weights. Okay, and this is light weights. I'm going to step wide. I'm going to come right into a partial squat. Everything I do today is going to be aimed at lower body strength. Okay, yes, you're going to do some upper body, but lower body has been showed repeatedly in the research. A lower body weakening is responsible for the majority of falls. Okay, so now I picked up 6 and 6. So what does that mean? Well, when I do this, I have this weight right here, and my shoulders feel it, and you see it's a partial squat. So what does that look like? See how I'm just hip hinging? I'm pushing my butt back. I'm keeping my shoulders in, okay? So now I'm just going to really warm up those hips, warm up the knee muscles around the knees. And I'm putting a light, gentle load through the shoulder blades. Okay, through the shoulder. Drop your chin, take a big breath, push your hips back. When you get into this position right here, you kind of need to act like you're riding a horse. I'm pushing into my heels. I'm not putting a big load through my shoulders. I have it in my hands. But if I put them up here, everything changes. See how now my weight trajectory is going down through the vertebrae? So if I push out and I go into a bit of a squat, now that load goes much more into my vertebrae, into my hips, into the muscles and the bones around the knee, but I'm not straining my knee. I'm pushing into the feet, the heels specifically. I'm going to keep my chin tucked. And as I do this with a gentle weight, resting on my shoulders, and I do this repeated push into the heels, pressure comes up. Now, right now is where you squeeze your gluteals. Okay, release your gluteals, coming into the heels. Take a big breath through the nose, drop, and come back. Here we go, drop, and come back. So once you start to really understand how this little bit of a hip hinge, see this? As I'm coming down, now I've got 12 pounds added to my upper body strength weight that's coming down into my vertebrae, mid and lower, and into the hips. So why would I want to just go and really overload way too much through all those very important structures? That would not be smart. So what I'm doing right now I've lowered my elbows. See this? I'm hanging onto my weight. My elbows are down right into my side. And I'm doing a repeated modified squat. Okay. Now let's take that and let's go into our chair. See my kitchen chair, and I have my little balance pad. It's 2 inches up, but I'm going to step wide. I'm going to take this 12 pounds, 6 and a 6, and I'm going to go down until the backs of my legs touch that pillow, okay, or that balance pad, I should say. And when I come up here, guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to lift my heels. I'm going to squeeze my butt right there. Then I'm going to release, and I'm going to go touch, and I'm going to come back. I'm going to take a big deep breath, drop my shoulders, lift my heels, lift my heels, lift my heels. Then I'm going to push back, go into a touch, and then come back. So I want you to practice this. This is a controlled sit to stand. But I didn't go all the way down and sit down. There are some people that I could not do this with at all. They would get here and just totally lose it. Then I'm going to come back. Take a big deep breath, drop your shoulders. Here we go. Heels, touch, and come back. Heels, touch, and come back. Then just check yourself and make sure that you are pushing equally on both heels. Some of you favor one leg over the other for whatever reason. Could be the way you hold yourself, could be all kinds of things. Not the least of which is you have one replaced knee, then you have one replaced hip. You know how that goes. So what I'm saying is equalize. And how do you do that? You do it when you're down into the drops right here. So when you go down there, so keep your elbows here, drop your shoulders, take a breath, exhale, and now equalize out. Push as much on one heel as you're pushing on the other. Okay, do it 2 more times. So I'm right here, equalize, and then come back. Here we go. Equalize and come back. So right about now is when I will tell you from this current, continuing education credit that I am doing for my training certificate. And I've told you again, I've told you many times. So what am I doing? I'm doing a split stance. I'm bending the back knee. I'm coming up, and then I'm going to work in my upper body a little. So I'm going to dip. I'm going to stay down there. And I'm going to do what I just did. I'm going to tap. I'm going to tap. I'm staying down. I'm calling it. I'm staying down in the drops. I've dropped myself. See how that knee is bending? Take a big breath. And I'm just working through the wrists. This is not heavy. If you have shoulder issues, this one should not bother your shoulder. Okay? Take note if it does. Drop your shoulders. Stay in the drops. Stay down there. Take a big breath. Rib cage up. Big breath. Okay, now hold it right here. And then you're just going to come right to your ears. And then you're going to come down. And right to your ears. And then down. And then to your ears. And down. Keep your knee down. Breath. Don't hold your breath. Breath. See, just come to the shoulder. Then come to just above the ears. To the shoulder. Just above the ears. So by holding this position in a split stance, with one knee dropping down, the front knee will take care of itself. You are creating a lot of load. Okay? That's very safe for your joints. Step forward. Take a big deep breath. If it was heating up your muscles, just turn that toe out. Release the tension. Come back. Take a big deep breath. Now I'm going to step back with the other leg. Okay? So I'm going to step back and go into what's called a split stance. Okay? So I'm just stepping back. I'm making sure that my toes are pretty forward. Then I'm going to bend the back knee. And yeah, I'll bring my heel off the ground. Because I want to get down there because I want to really push my lower body muscles, my strength muscles in my legs. You see how I'm doing this little pulse? Every time you do the pulse, say rib cage up. Okay, so I'm staying down there and I'm going to do a second set. See? So I got lightweight. So everybody wants to know, well, what weight are you using, Jeannie? For me, I'm using a lightweight. So if I say I have 6 pounds in both hands, you're going to think you have to do that. And that's not necessarily the case. It should be a lightweight for you. You should feel it, but it shouldn't impair your movements. Take a breath. See how I've got my knee in the back bent? So I call that the drop. I'm dropping my whole center of gravity by doing this little pulse down there. Yeah. Take a breath. Take a breath. Now hang on with me. Hang on with me. We're using a lightweight. We're using a position to create a lot of tension. Take a breath. Take a breath. I'm going above my ears and to my shoulders. That's it. With a very light weight. But that lower knee right now is having to, all the muscles around it is having to hold my position. Take a breath. Take a breath. Just 2 more. Stay with me. 1 more. And then come down. Bring it up. And if it was really heating up, turn that toe out. See that? Take a big deep breath. I'm going to put these weights right here. I'm going to open my hands. And you remember one of the first moves I did to get you ready to go into the floor? I did a split stance. And what did I do? I turned. And I just let my arms take me into this turn. So I want to emphasize, there has to be movement in your upper, in your chest, in your back, in your vertebrae. This is one of the best ways to see and to train yourself to have a little movement in your thoracic region. So see, I'm looking out here, keeping my balance. I can look this way, but I'm trying to get the whole chest to look this way while I keep my feet stationary. Then I bring it and I bring the whole chest this way, okay? And I try to turn, okay? And I'm not slinging, I'm not jerking, I'm moving from one direction with my upper body to the other direction. See that? And then I can move my head with it. If that feels okay, if it doesn't get you off balance too much. If it gets you off balance very much, you have to go very slowly and you have to pretty much stay focused forward, okay? And then turn your head. See, turn, look forward, get yourself really turned in the upper body, then turn your head. Okay, now I'm gonna switch, okay? Step back. Now it's the other way. So one of the big deals with working your strength, especially in your upper body and your lower body, is actually movement in your thoracic region of your vertebrae. Okay, and what's one of the best ways to get that that mobility? Yeah, I say it every day, multiple times. Rib cage up. Okay, then I'm turning. I'm keeping my feet stationary. I bring those hands down. And I'm going to turn this way. Okay, take a big deep breath. Turn this way. Say rib cage up. Drop your shoulders. Rib cage up. Really pull that whole chest around as far as you can. And then come to it multiple times. Like, you don't have to do it fast. Just turn and really push the front and back arm. Keep your shoulders down and really push them back. Push them open. Breath, 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 breath. Because this opens up this. So this whole movement up here affects your hips. If your hip is tight, it's going to be hard for you to turn your whole upper body. Okay? So just be aware of those movement patterns that restrict your mobility. That's what the name of the game is today. Okay? Now I've got my light weights again. So for me, it's a 6 and a 6. Now I'm going to go to 9 here pretty quickly. So what am I going to do? I'm going to go back to that little, you remember that little 4-meter walk? Okay? It's about 4 yardsticks is what it is about, maybe a little over. It's about 4 yardsticks. Right at. You see what I'm doing? Yeah. Every time I punch forward with my weighted hand, I say rib cage up. So I would walk with you right now, and I would just keep punching you right here on your sternum to keep yourself up, to keep the thoracic region open. Okay? So everybody knows why I'm doing this, right? I'm doing this because Kay is on, and I want every step that she takes to be rib cage up, open, 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 open. So now I'm doing just a walk, just a regular walk, a carry walk. And I'm just taking that light weight. I'm not taking my arm out to a full extension. Okay. I am just doing a kind of a march walk. Okay. So now let's take it back. Let's put the light weights on your shoulders again. Okay. And I'm going to cross over, and then I'm going to come back. So this is going to be a series of crossing over, step, 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 crossing back, step, step, step. So I have a light weight sitting right here on my shoulders. And if I were caving, if I wasn't saying rib cage up, these things are going to be like this. That will be a stress on your vertebrae. But you don't want that. You want the great benefits of loading. You got to do neutral spine. Okay. Big breath. Drop your chin. Rib cage up. Soften up your joints. Take a step over, like you're going to release the back leg, but you don't. And then come back. Okay. And then I did a step, step, step. Over, like I'm going to walk that way. See? But I'm not going to release the back foot. Then I come back, step, step, step. Over. Act like you're going to release the back foot, but you don't. See, I have 12 pounds riding down my spine. I have to be thinking, what am I doing? And do you have to do this? No. You can do this whole thing and get great benefit with no weights. You could do this whole thing with a backpack on. You could do this whole thing carrying something. Okay, so I'm getting load through my lower body, through a lot of point positioning. So I'm positioning you in such a way that it's going to cause correct, but a lot of load on those legs in a very functional way. Okay, see that? See that? Then I come back. Okay, get ready. You can do this with or without weights, depending on how comfortable you are doing one-legged task. So just like now, I'm ready to leave the back foot to come forward, correct? Say rib cage up, and then just take your toe off of the ground and then put it back. Take your toe off of the ground and back, and then put it back. So rib cage up every single time. Drop your shoulders. Big breath. Here we go. Bring your toe up. Don't move it. Just bring it up. And then back. So you don't move it forward. Don't move it back. Just bring it up. Give that leg a challenge. Put it down when you need to. One more. Here we go. Rib cage up. Rib cage up. Here we go. Breath. 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 Don't scrunch your toes. And then come down. And you should be feeling a load in that front leg. I know it. Okay, big breath. I still have my weights here. If you need to take them off to do the other leg, that's fine. Take it off. Okay? So here I am. I'm stepping over, and I'm going to bring that toe up and then bring it back down. I'm not going anywhere with it. Soften your knee. Say rib cage up. Bring the toe off the ground. Don't go anywhere with it. Just bring it up and then put it back down. Take a breath. Rib cage up. Big breath through the nose. Here we go. Bring that toe off the ground. It's right there if you need it. Just put it back down. Soften, bring it up, take a big breath, take a big breath, put it back down. We have one more. Here we go. Are you ready? Bent knee, bring that toe off the ground, big breath, hang on, and then come back down, and then come back down. Yay. Then we're gonna take these right here and put them over here on our rack. I'm gonna go up, just one. So that makes it 9 and 9 for me. So it could be 8, it could be 4, whatever that works for you. Okie dokie. So now I'm gonna turn and I'm gonna back up to my chair. So do you remember this little move that we did a while ago? So you want your feet to be just about chair leg width apart. Okay, do that hip hinge. Remember we did these modified hip hinges. Remember that? If you want to get stronger, you pick up something. I don't care what it is. Right now I've picked up my hand weights because I have them. You get yourself in front of a chair, put a pillow on it so you don't have to go all the way down at first. Challenge yourself to doing modified squats. See this? That's all I'm doing. And I'm challenging myself, taking breaths, shoulders down, rib cage up. Here we go, right here into the heels and come back. So I'm doing the same thing that I did at the beginning as a warm-up with a modified squat. And when you go into a squat, you push your butt back. You do a hip hinge. You keep your shoulders down. You keep your rib cage up, your chin tucked. You're breathing. And you just do little hits. See, we're doing little hits right here. And if you need to, go ahead and rest those weights right there on the top of your knee. Yeah, just rest it. I would rather have a little bit of a hit than to have no hit. So I'm going to go here, take a breath, then I come back. Drop your shoulders. Push that butt back. You're right into the heels and come back. Drop your shoulders. Right here, heels, and then come back. Shoulders, take a little step. So it's balance, it's positioning, it's breathing, it's correcting. And now I'm gonna go a little lower. So now I was just doing a modified squat. Now I'm gonna go approach a regular squat. So I'm gonna go down, I'm gonna touch the backs of my legs, and then I'm gonna come back, okay? And I'm gonna start holding. Are you ready? Big breath, drop your shoulders, push, come right into that. Hold 1001, 1002. Then come back down, hold 1001, 1002, 1003, 1004. Come back up, drop your shoulders, take a big breath. And exhale, 1001, 1002, 1003, 1004, 1005, 1006. Breathe. Exhale, hold. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Do not, what am I going to say? Do not flex your back. Push your butt back. Okay? Shine your tail lights. Touch the backs of your legs. Hold, breath, hold, breath, hold, breath, and come back. Woo! Take a big deep breath. One more time. Here we go. Hold, breath, hold. Touching the backs of your legs. Don't sit, don't sit, don't sit. Keep your knees from going in or out, and then come back. Yay. Okay, take a breath. I'm going to put my weights right there. Shake out. Big breath, get your recovery going. So what we're going to do is now we're going to go on down 2 more inches. So I'm taking you through split stance, loading, one-legged loading carefully, squat loading. I know it. Take a big breath, grab your weights, grab your little pad, take it, throw it on the floor, step right back into the arena, right here. Okay, are you ready? So now I'm going to hang on to this, but in just a minute, I'm going to take my weights and I'm going to put them right here. Some of you may not want to do that. So if you don't have very good control on your sit to stands, so this is a sit to stand. See that? Let's practice that again. You do a little hip hinge, okay, not extreme, and you put pressure in your heels as you're coming down, and you sit, and then you take a breath and you exhale and come up. Do not hold your breath, okay? Big breath, here we go. Exhale, take a breath, exhale. Take a breath, exhale, take a breath, exhale. Take a breath, exhale, take a breath. Yeah. Now we're gonna go down and we're gonna hang out down there just for a few arm pumps. So we're gonna go down, we're gonna come right here, we're gonna go 1, 2, 3, push your butt back, 4, 5, 6, and up. This is so much fun, don't you think? Okay, that down. We've done our 9 pounds. I'm going to put that right in the middle of my trajectory walk. Now I'm going to go up 1 more. Okay. You may choose not to. This may be plenty. Just doing the moves. Let's say you're thinking, oh, I don't want to pick up any weight. That's fine. You know that if you hit a neutral spine and just did a sit to stand, and you kept those knees tracking properly, and you did that a couple of sets of 10 in a day. Let's say you do 2 at a time. So I just did 1, and here is 2, okay? And you really thought about how you, how your mechanics took you into that sit to stand motion. Oh my goodness, you'd be far ahead of the game. So now before I pick up my next weight, which is 12 and 12, Nancy always wants to know because she likes to do a little more than me. So I'm doing 12 and 12, Nancy, so you make sure you pick up 15 or 18, okay? Okay, so here's the deal. When you pick up more, be ready for it. And here's the message. You do not have to pick up any heavier weights to get benefit, okay? So don't think, oh, I can't do that class, I can't. No, pick up 6 pounds. Pick up a can of food and just go through the motions, okie dokie? So here I am, I'm gonna go back before I do my sit to stands. I'm not gonna call them squats. I'm gonna say we're gonna do sit to stands off a regular old kitchen chair. So before I do that, I want to use this opportunity because I picked up a heavier weight and I want my structures. I want my vertebrae. I want my hips. I want my knees and my feet to feel this weight coming down into the muscle action that has to put 1 step on a 2-inch little platform to raise me 2 inches up. See this? Rib cage up. Take a big breath right here and come back down. See that shifting? See that shifting to get you up here? My toe is still on the floor. So I'm not doing a very high risk move, okay? I'm stepping 2 inches. It's a squishy, absolutely. I'm pressing into it. My whole foot is reading out right now. My ankle, everything, lower body is saying, oh my goodness, she has stepped on a squishy platform. We have to adjust. So say rib cage up, really rib cage up, then drop back down, step back down. Okay, take a big breath. Other foot is going to go on that 2-inch flow platform. I'm going to go to where I still have my little kickstand. I have my little toe on the ground. My foot, my leg on the platform, the balance platform, is soft. It is not bent, but it's soft. So when I step into it, I don't lock, okay? So I'm getting full readout of 24 pounds added to my own body weight coming into my bones right now, okay? Which is what is required for, and you want to do it so that it pushes you, okay? Yeah, we have exact formulas of how much, oh, do we need it? No, make it so that you're perceiving that it's a load. I know it. Take a breath. See how I'm just coming into it? I'm saying rib cage up, and I've got my toe down, and then I come back down, okay? Take a big deep breath. Now I'm going to bring my elbows down, hold on to my weights. I'm going to step up and over that platform. I'm going to turn and walk around without doing something. Do you know what that something is? I am not taking my neck into what I call a gawking form. I'm keeping my ears over my shoulders while I step over this pad. And if I don't want to trip, some of you are hypervigilant and you're starting to walk with your head hanging out. So I'm saying, get yourself up and over this little pad, and you can drop your chin, you can dart your eyes. I don't want you to go like this, because that will, with this much weight, see, that would strain my vertebrae. Right now, this is positive pressure. Now I'm going to step up on that. I'm going to take a big deep breath. I'm going to just act like I'm going to go down, but I don't. Act like I'm going to go down, but I don't. So I'm going to turn to the side so you can see what I'm doing. So I'm going to push the butt back and do that high hip hinge with 24 pounds coming down on my frame. See that? I'm going to push back. And if I keep my back extended, my shoulders down, shoulder blades rolled in, tight tummy, hip hinge. This is positive pressure. This is a push, pull, boom, push back up. Yeah, big breath, just 3 more, here we go. Okay, 2 more. Okay, 1 more, we're gonna hold it. Push, pull, and hold right there, and just go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, and come back. And take a big breath and come down and come down. Then I'm going to just roll those weights off right there. Step over into my chair arena, and I'm going to go down, and I'm going to act like I'm going to sit, but I'm not. So that means I'm going to touch the back part of my legs, my hamstrings. So big breath, drop, touch, breath, and come back. Drop your shoulders. Don't do this fast. Shift into the heels. Push the butt back. Come down, tap, and then come back. Here we go. Tap, and come back. Yes. Here we go. And come back. Drop your chin. Breath. Drop your shoulders. Drop your chin. Drop your shoulders. Here we go. And come back. Then I'm going to stand right here. I'm going to go pull. I'm going to go pull. Okay? So here's what you're not seeing. When I take and pull this here, see, I'm doing a gentle turn, just like walking. I'm pulling and I'm opening my shoulder. Then I come back and I come down. I'm going into my heels. I'm going to come up and I'm turning. Then I'm going to come back down. So I have load, and I'm going to come up, and now I'm going to turn. Then I'm going to come back and come down. Take a breath. So I'm right here. Then I open that shoulder in the back. Then I come forward. Then I come down. Breath. Turn. Pull back. Pull down. Okay, step back into your arena. Okay, sit down. So now we're going to work on the back part of the back and the arms. I've got a pretty heavy weight, which you need a heavier weight to work the back of the arms generally. And I'm just going to put the pressure right through the backs of those arms. See, I'm rolling my shoulders. I'm pressing back and getting those arms, the arm muscles on the back part of your arm to contract, to contract against that weight. And that's a pretty good weight. Take a breath, press, take a breath, woo, right there. Push, 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 and just hang out there. See that little flick? See those little tiny flicks I'm doing? Right there. Breath, 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 breath. I'm going to put those weights right here. Take a big deep breath. And I'm going to bring those elbows back, open the chest, and then put them right back on my knee. This is a very little move. It's a heavy weight. So you come up here, you say ribcage up, take a breath, tighten your tummy, drop your shoulders, pull those elbows back, and come back. Back. So it's a push-pull. So those of you, like I am, with a shoulder, delicate shoulder, you're desperate to strengthen those muscles, but you don't want to kick up a problem. So you want to do like push-pull at this level, not above your head necessarily. See, it's a pretty good weight that I'm asking it to push-pull. Push back, then push forward. It's a push and then a pull. So it's a back and forth, okay? Take a big breath. Now I'm going to stand with this weight. Some of you may not want to. You put your weight down. That's perfectly fine. But if you're able to, you keep your weight close, okay? Drop your shoulders. Then you go into that squat. And then you come up, okay? So you use, that's called good lifting techniques. Open those hands, pull back on your fingers, pull back on your fingers, turn this chair around, or if you have a wall, You push your hips toward the chair or the wall and you back away from it. And you take one hand and act like you're going to touch the wall and bring it down. And you use one hand and you bring it down. Drop your shoulders. Do a nice, gentle hyperextension. And if that is not a problem for you, everybody's situation is a little different. But a really nice, gentle hyperextension will open up the hips, will open up your vertebrae, especially for people with things with arthritis, spinal stenosis. You want to keep managing that. And this is, movement is magic. So just say that. Don't say, oh, I got to exercise today. I mean, that's what slugs normally say. But slugs don't say movement is magic, do you? Well, I challenge you to say that today, especially when you're straining your neck to look at the eclipse. I hope you'll remember that. Good job, you guys.